that she found out her husband of those 2 years has been cheating on her for at least a year of their marriage.
He's been cheating for a year.
You can come back from this.
Yeah.
The question is if you want to.
And if he wants to, women are like, I can get through this. But it's like, does he want to? Does he want to change? Is he committed to changing?
Is he acknowledging the sense of betrayal that you're validly feeling?
Exactly.
If this were my friend, I would ask some questions. Do you want to save this, or do you feel relief that you have a reason to leave?
Yeah, that's a real feeling.
Hey, it's Matchmaker Maria. Welcome to the Ask a Matchmaker podcast. This is a hotline episode, which means that we take your questions and give you answers. And this week's co-host is the wonderful Sam Santos. Welcome back to the pod.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Are you ready to answer questions?
I'm super ready.
Before we do that, this is our Thanksgiving episode.
I love Thanksgiving.
Do you really?
I really do.
What
I'm
do you like
a
about
November baby, so I love everything
really?
November. Yeah.
Oh, when is your birthday?
November 16th.
Oh my God, you just had your birthday.
No. Yes. Because the
Listen,
way this
we are pre-recording. Get into it.
Yes, I did. And what a wonderful birthday it was.
Do you think you got engaged?
No, I hope he doesn't do it on my birthday.
Do you think he'll do it on Thanksgiving?
No, because we're going to be in Puerto Rico on Thanksgiving for his mom's wedding.
Oh.
So I think he's not going to propose at his mom's wedding.
But maybe you'll catch the bouquet at his mom's wedding.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think
Do they
he's doing
celebrate Thanksgiving in Puerto Rico?
that. Who knows? I don't know. I've never been to Puerto Rico on Thanksgiving. I don't think so. Maybe. I'm a New Yorker. I don't know. We celebrate here.
Well, if you are Puerto Rican and you do celebrate Thanksgiving or you don't, please tell us in the comments.
Yeah, I would love to know, actually.
I would love to know. And also, what do they eat there?
Yeah, definitely not turkey, I'm sure. Benin, probably, which is
But
like
you know
pork.
how like vegans have like tofu turkey?
Yeah.
Do you think they have like mofongo turkey?
No, they probably just do pork, which is better anyway. Do you like turkey?
I eat it once a year on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I don't. Well, so I don't eat meat, but I like gave up meat like 7-8 years ago. But like turkey, I was like, why is it this?
Is turkey meat?
Yeah, turkey's meat.
See, when I think
You're
of
so Greek. You're like, have lamb.
like I don't see, to me lamb is meat.
Yeah.
But I don't think of poultry. I mean, okay, I know it's meat.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like,
I eat fish.
oh, so you're pescatarian?
I'm pescatarian. Yeah,
I'm pescatarian like 3 months out of the year
Okay.
for religious reasons. Anyway, this is a Thanksgiving episode. Before we take the questions, I want to learn, what are you thankful for, if anything?
Oh, I'm thankful for the like journey I'm on in comedy. I'm really thankful for that. It took me a long time to get here. Happy for my boyfriend, my family, my dog especially. She's been so sick this year, so it's
Really?
been super happy that she's like
What
in a
is your
better.
dog's name?
My dog's name is Monroe.
Monroe. That's a good name. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl. Yeah.
Okay.
I love her so much. She's had like so many like issues this year.
How old is Monroe?
So I adopted her. I'm not really sure. They told me she was 1 when I got her, and that was not true. So I'm thinking she's like 11, 12 maybe. But she's been doing so well. I got her on a new diet that I'm spending a lot of money on. So
Okay.
thankfully it worked. And she's been doing so much better. So I'm really thankful for her health.
Wow. Well, if you have any questions about what Monroe's eating, you should tag it in the stories. Amazon affiliate code. Make that money
Yeah,
back.
I should.
I have a dog too. I'm actually really thankful for him as well. It's so
Yeah.
funny you mentioned your dog. My dog Leonidas is 16 and a half years old.
Oh.
He has become deaf this year.
Oh.
We lost him a couple months ago.
Oh.
He just like left, and then it was like pointless. Like, you can't be like, Leonidas, like 'cause he can't hear you.
He can't hear you. Did he come back?
He did not. Someone found him. A neighbor found him. And now I'm going to start a commercial for Ring, even though they're not sponsoring this episode, but they should. My husband took a photo of Leonidas and put it on the Ring app, because there's like a neighbor's tab.
Oh, wow.
And within 2 minutes, I swear to God, someone's like, oh, I found your dog. I called the number. Nobody picked up because it was 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And it went to like do not disturb.
Of course.
But I left him at the shelter, which was like 2 blocks from our house. And we had him back home within 4 hours.
Oh, thank God.
But he was picked up 1.5 miles away from our house.
What was he doing?
And we live in a neighborhood where there's bears and foxes. I don't know what he was doing.
Oh my God.
He's
like
probably looking for us. And
Yeah,
we live in a new
he's-
house, so he doesn't know where we live.
He's like an old man. He went on a
Yeah.
stroll.
Yeah, all deaf and shit. It was
That's
great.
so funny.
What else am I thankful for? I'm thankful really for my family.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think my husband has been doing really great managing his anxiety this year. And I'm just like so thankful that he found those tools because it's made our relationship, like it's improved.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful for my parents. And I'm thankful for all of my listeners and followers who pre-ordered my book.
Yeah.
That's like, I've been getting a lot of their screenshots. I can't get enough of the screenshots of the pre-orders. Isn't it the best? Yeah, but some of them write these like long messages with the screenshot and I can't get enough of it. Not because I'm like some low-key narcissist.
Yeah, no, but
it's like you don't know how people feel.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to say like, oh, I love your advice. It's a whole nother thing. I'm like, well, I'm going to spend money to hear more of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that just like,
it's the best feeling. It's like anyone who like buys a ticket to my show. I'm like, oh my God, you bought a ticket to see me? It's such a nice feeling. It's like, it's also reassuring that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got to say, like, in taking care of my mom these past few years, I have to always say, like, I'm really thankful for my health.
Yeah.
My health. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Because I've come to find out that like health is wealth.
It really is. Yeah.
And health is not just physical, it's also mental. And so just, I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah, I get that. You also destroyed me and you're thankful. So I just was so simple about mine and you were like, now I sound unthankful.
Well, tell me more then. Tell me more. What else are you thankful for?
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Now it won't mean the same.
All right. Well, listen, we have 4 questions that have been sent in.
Ooh, I love it.
And they're all really different from each other. We've got single moms, we've got caretakers, we've got messy married friends, and we have a Thanksgiving question.
I love it.
So let's go through all of them and get some answers.
Yes.
Hi, Matchmaker Maria. This is Yvonne from New Jersey. I'm 37 years old, and my question is this. I am hosting Thanksgiving in my home this year for the first time, and I've invited my boyfriend's mom to come and spend the holiday with us. This is going to be my first time meeting her, so I was just wondering what you recommend that I do for her in terms of a gift or a little bit of a welcome package. She's going to be staying with us for the entire week since she is from out of state.
Okay. I got stuff, but I want to hear you.
That's a lot to have someone's mom stay with you for a week when you're just meeting them. Do you think she needs a welcome packet? I feel like you're hosting her. That's kind of like, I feel like, here's like your, a welcome packet. Is that?
As someone who's very proud to be from New Jersey, when people come from out of state, I have this need to show either a Jersey experience or a Jersey welcome packet where it's like, here's a cutting board in the shape of New Jersey.
Okay.
Which you can find on Amazon. Or, which I love. Those are like my favorite gifts to give. Or here are, New Jersey makes the most eggplants.
Do they?
Yeah, in all of the country.
I did not know that at all. I know they're famous for their tomatoes.
Yes, and tomatoes and
tomatoes.
Pumpkins. We have so many pumpkins. So like, I would try to find local dishes.
Okay.
Like local ingredients to like show like we're called the Garden State for a reason.
Oh, wow, that's really thoughtful.
And I would also look for like taffy. So like Jersey Shore taffy.
Okay.
Like, things that she could get at a gift shop, have it ready, get the Jersey magnet, like get her like a really comfy sweatshirt that says New Jersey or Rutgers University or Kane University or Monmouth University, like one of our local universities, because, we do want you to root for the Jersey teams.
Yeah.
Or the Eagles.
Yeah.
And, like it's like kind of welcoming. I think in general, if you're hosting anyone, it needs to be about comfort and expectations. So like that comfort is like making sure that you have on her bed, a robe or
that's
towels
what I was gonna say.
Or, shampoo and conditioner, like having it all ready for them.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I didn't know like about an actual packet, but like what kind of shampoo does she like and these things to make sure that like when she's staying, she's comfortable and she has everything that she needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then expectations, I would ask your boyfriend or your partner,
100%.
What does she expect on Thanksgiving? Like maybe she has like a dish that she likes.
Yeah, I feel like everybody does. So it is important. Right? Yeah.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
I love, it's like more like an antipasto thing, but and it's not the right name, but in Italian we call it gabardina. But like because we're from Sicily, but like in Italy they call it caponata.
Okay.
And it's just like an eggplant dish with like tomato sauce, and I absolutely love it. And when I don't have it, like if one year it like didn't we couldn't find it or something happened. I think it was like the pandemic year. And I was like, it's ruined. The whole day has been ruined.
How are you going to find this in Puerto Rico?
I'm not. It's
right.
not going to be there. Maybe I can try to find it or like bring it with me.
I think, yeah. So ask your partner, what are her expectations?
Yeah.
And like make that expectation happen.
Absolutely.
Like one dish, like, oh, I heard you love cranberries. So
Here's
here's some cranberries.
Yeah.
Do you like cranberries?
I don't.
I don't either.
I don't really get why that's a thing.
My husband loves them. Like
Yeah.
he makes his own thing.
My
He
dad
even
does
makes
too.
cranberry cocktails, which are actually delicious.
Okay, that's different.
But
I like a cranberry juice, but like cranberries on Thanksgiving, I don't get why that's there. Like my dad makes it from scratch and like, oh my God, everybody loves it. I'm like, I don't get this at all.
I never understood cranberry. Cranberry lovers, give us your hate in the comments. Increase the engagement. Thank you.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
My husband's stuffing.
Oh, I love
I'm going to force him to make a reel of how he makes the stuffing.
Please, I love stuffing.
I make him make like way more. And then we vacuum pack it. And we have like 5 of them in our freezer so we can eat Thanksgiving stuffing like throughout the cold season.
Yeah.
Because my God, this man with his little pine nuts and his little sausage.
I love that. Oh, they put sausage in it. Never mind.
Italian sausage though.
Oh, well, okay. For my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can we go to the next question?
Hi, Matchmaker Maria. It's Bianca. I'm from Atlanta and I'm 35 years old. I am asking a question on behalf of one of my married friends. She has been married as of Tuesday for 2 years, and she just confided in me that she found out her husband of those 2 years has been cheating on her for at least a year of their marriage with a coworker who is 26. For reference, her husband's 33 and she just turned 30. She hasn't told anyone else but me, and I'm really struggling with how to help her because I don't think she knows what she wants. And I'm a very similar friend like you are, where I'm just very blunt and to the point, and I'm ready to rage and kick him out. And she's being very demure and just letting him continue to live in the guest room and continue to not tell any of their mutual friends or family members what's going on. She has plans on getting Christmas photos done and hosting a Friendsgiving because this is her favorite time of year and all of these plans have already been made. And I just don't know what to do for that. So if you could help me figure out what to say or how to say it nicely, I would appreciate it. Thanks.
I have so many thoughts, and I just got to get some of them out before I forget them.
Go.
Number 1, they got married on a Tuesday. Automatic red flag.
No, I think as of this Tuesday, they've been married for 2 years.
Oh, they've been married for 2 years?
Yeah.
I thought they were together for 2 years.
No, she said as of this Tuesday, they've been married for 2 years.
Wow. Okay. All right. Shit, because that was going to go to my second point, which is don't send a Christmas card, send a thank you wedding card. Holy shit, that changes everything.
Yeah, they've been married for 2 years. And he's been cheating for a year.
Well, I guess, listen, I think you can come back from this.
Yeah.
The question is if you want to.
Yeah. And if he wants to, like, I think, I feel like a lot of times women are like, I can get through this. But it's like, does he want to? Does he want to change? Is he committed to changing?
Is he acknowledging the sense of betrayal that you're validly feeling?
Exactly. I think there's like a lot more to that. But I will say, I know like you're more of like the blunt friend. I can totally relate to her friend that she's talking about because like in my life, when I got cheated on by my ex-fiance, like I just didn't tell anybody because I was like embarrassed of what they would think like that I caused it. Like, oh, what wasn't I doing or performing in the relationship, you know? And like just wanting things to be, because when you get cheated on, it rocks your world, like, you know, and everything changes and you're just like grasping for like normalcy. So I get like her wanting like the thing, like the Friendsgiving and all that, because it just makes things feel like the way it used to be. And like I can relate to feeling like, let's just pretend for one day that everything is fine and you didn't make this massive mistake that has now like changed my entire world. Yeah. So I do get it, but oh my God, like as someone who's done that before, it's so much just rip the Band-Aid off. You know what I mean? Like get to the bottom of it, have the real conversations, like tell people you have to live in your truth.
So my automatic, it's funny that people think I'm a blunt friend.
Yeah.
I mean, my friend, am I that blunt in our friendship? No, like.
She has to say that.
There's,
no.
Are you?
I'm like, blink twice if you need help. No, I'm kidding.
I'm very straightforward. Like Matchmaker Maria is a character that's very blunt.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I know you can't hear me. Matchmaker Maria is a character that is very blunt and to the point because I'm talking in text. Maria, the friend, I don't think I'm blunt. At least I don't perceive myself as blunt. I am straightforward and not passive aggressive. I'm a very direct communicator. That being said, if this were my friend, I would ask some questions. And the first question is, do you want to save this or do you feel relief that you have a reason to leave?
Yeah.
Okay? Because
that's a real feeling.
These are feelings.
Yeah.
Right? Some people do feel relief when, okay, finally.
Yeah,
now I have a reason.
Never a reason to leave.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
The second thing I would ask is he acknowledging that he hurt you?
Yeah.
Right? I also will say that cheating does not necessarily always happen in a bubble. Right? I'm not saying I blame both parties.
Yeah.
But there is some sort of equitable responsibility in that. And what I will say is if the answer to that first question is, I do want this to work, then, and if they also want it to work, then you need help.
Okay.
And that help is seeking a couples counselor,
absolutely,
a couples therapist who can guide you through rebuilding trust through betrayal. And it's not overnight.
At all.
So you either think it's long haul and always working on it and maybe bettering your communication patterns. And also your interactions. I mean, you cheated on someone with someone at work. What was that about? Like, do you just need to feel cute at work that you don't know the boundaries?
Yeah.
I certainly would never blame a woman, that woman at work.
Yeah.
I'm sure she knew he was married. I also know how manipulative people can be.
That's very true. Yeah.
Right? Where you're like, oh, his marriage is like whatever.
Yeah,
they're
whatever.
saying to
Yeah.
you.
100%. Yeah. Like,
You know
my
what I
wife doesn't, we're not even really like together anymore, whatever.
Exactly.
They make up stuff.
Like, so my trust on that is like,
yeah,
I'm not even
I get
thinking
that.
about the other woman.
That's so true.
What I'm thinking about is, do you want to make it work? And I think, listen, studies have shown, and Esther Perel has taught us that a relationship can go over that obstacle.
Yeah.
But a lot of things have to change. Yeah. And it's really hard for people to change.
It's super hard.
Right?
Yeah. And not even just him, but for her to like just even have to get past it. It's a hard thing. Also, cheating is one thing, but having an affair for a year is a choice that you made every single day.
Right, yeah.
You came home, you lied every single day. That's something I don't know that even I feel like I found that out. I'd be like, there's no coming back from this for me.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like
that's a really long time.
That's
oh, I love you.
That, they were they loved each other.
Yeah.
You know, that's a relationship of some sort.
Right.
You know, and that's so difficult. But I sympathize with the wife, like this woman's friend.
I also sympathize with the caller. Like, it's really hard being the only one who knows this.
Yeah, it's heavy.
You're never going to respect her husband from now on, no matter what's happening.
No.
Like, they can all work it out. Your interactions are going to become way less. And almost, you're actually about to become the bad guy.
The bad guy, always.
Always, because your friend told you, and they could work it out, and your friend is going to feel shame and embarrassment with you that, like, 100%. I kept him. So she also needs to have a hard conversation with you, which is, I think I'm going to work it out with my husband.
Yeah.
I need you to trust me.
Yeah, I need your support.
I need your support. And you're going to learn to, you don't have to love him.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to like, you're going to have to like something here to be able to work with us here.
If we're going to be able to still be friends.
That's right. So I find that's going to be, I think, trickier. That's actually going to be trickier than her working on her marriage.
I believe so too. Like I've been that friend where I'm just like, I hate this guy, you know? And I'm like, you're the best. he's awful, you know, and like, but you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, really, in that situation.
Yeah, yeah, and I really feel for her. I think the advice that I would give her is literally playing this episode, because we're not only looking at the consequences of listen. I also want to say that a lot of people stay in marriage because also divorce is expensive.
It's so expensive. Yeah.
And you're also willing to just go back to normalcy. Sometimes normalcy, just there's comfort in normalcy. Yeah. So if she feels like Friendsgiving is something that she wants to do, if Christmas photos is something that she wants to do, let her feel normal. Like, she's allowed to feel normal as she tries to manage the next step.
Exactly. I just urge, because sometimes like you crave that normalcy so much that you just sweep everything under the rug. And I don't want her to end up like not ever really having a real conversation with her husband, and just everything goes back to normal. And then
when it's not normal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's bad, because that'll bubble over at some point.
I also want to add that I really feel like her friend needs to go get an STD check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think this part of this conversation is always ignored.
Yeah.
They both need to go get STD checks.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Right. A year he was with this person.
Yeah. And you don't know who she was with either.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of things here, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And also, you don't know if it was just her.
That's also very true. Also, you know, is he still working this job? Is it still happening? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if we're not talking about it, are you just doing it all, you know?
It's a lot.
My God.
It's messy.
It's messy. But as a friend, I think you just need to support her. And also kind of, I will say I did have one friend that I opened up to when I got cheated on in my engagement. And it's my best friend. And he was like my accountability partner, kind of, where I was like, everything's fine. And he's like, is it? Do you really feel fine? Or are you just craving that normalcy?
Yeah.
So I would just say, like, you know, if your friend's not ready, just be her accountability partner, kind of, you know, don't let her sweep it on the rug with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's take our next question.
Hi, Matchmaker Maria. This is Lauren. I'm 36 years old from Kentucky. My question for you is about what to disclose and when on the apps with regard to my status as a single mom and a widow. I put in my profile that I am a mom. However, I don't disclose that I'm a widow. Inevitably, the question of have you been married and what is the situation with your son's father come up. Sometimes they come up on the date, and sometimes they come up in the app. And I have never really been comfortable with how to respond when it comes up in the app chat. I don't want to be dismissive, but I also don't feel like I yet have the safety, as your guest put it, to share my life story and share the details of like the hardest day of my life, and would like to be able to gauge how they react in person. So anyway, would love to hear your thoughts on how to respond to those types of questions. And any tips and tricks would be appreciated. Thank you.
So I've worked with a lot of widows.
Yeah.
And as we've said in a past episode, like, we're all going to experience grief.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, these situations can happen where someone loses their partner that they were raising children with just too soon.
Yeah.
Right. And you are now the single parent. You are now the core parent. And I don't think it is appropriate to have it in the app.
Yeah, I agree.
In the app store, dating apps are considered lifestyle apps. Mm-hmm. They're considered entertainment.
Yeah.
So when people log on, just as they don't want to see a political lawn sign, no matter what you could agree on politics, people don't want to see that.
Yep.
Right. By and large. At the same time, they don't want to learn about whatever's the messy part of life, right?
Yeah.
Which can be grief, which can be breakups, which can be divorce, right? I feel like that conversation is okay to have on a first date.
I think so too.
Or even a second date. Mm-hmm. I think it's better in a first date. And because it is part of your story, it's also part of your child's story.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I'm going to take it a step further. I had introduced one of my girlfriends who's a widow to my husband's coworker. And he had kids, she had kids.
Yeah.
And I waited like 3 years until she told me she was ready to meet someone.
Yeah.
And when I remember telling his coworker, I said, hey, you know, my friend is just single. I mean, I didn't say my friend is single. My friend has 4 kids.
Yeah.
She's a widow. She lost her husband. Mm-hmm. She feels ready to date. would you date someone who's a widow?
Yeah.
Would you date someone who has kids? And he was like, yeah, and yeah. Like it didn't,
Yeah.
it didn't
Wasn't even-
faze him.
Yeah.
But he understood in that, yes, she's the core parent.
Yeah.
And those children are going to have grief that they're raised with, right? Which is memories, you know, if they have those, because
Yeah.
unfortunately her children were very young when he passed.
Yeah.
But that's going to be part of their story, right? So I think because that is part of your story, it needs to be talked about on a first date.
Yeah.
But it has to be in a way where it's actually, just like we had said in a previous episode, are they listening?
Yeah.
So for instance, are you saying stuff like, you know, it's thank you for asking about first of all, thank them for asking about your children's situation.
Yeah. It shows care.
Some people don't give a shit that you have kids. And I think that's a red flag.
Which is bizarre.
Whatever's happening.
Yeah. You have to
right?
care.
So thank you for asking about my children's father. I lost my husband 3 years ago. And I feel like I'm ready to date now.
Yeah.
So somehow I've pivoted my identity into what is happening right now, which is we are back on this date.
Yeah.
Like I needed to know. So now you know something about me. We can talk about it later. But let's talk about what this is, which is a date.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. I just don't like, I know. I also think she's asking about like people on the apps asking her like in a message. And I find that incredibly rude. Because if you say you have a kid, I think asking somebody like what happened to the father in a message before we've been on a date is incredibly rude. And she's asking like how to respond. And I'm like, don't.
See, and I think you're absolutely correct. When someone's asking about the father situation on an app, that you are a stranger, sir.
Yeah.
This is none of your business.
It doesn't feel like it's coming from like a positive place. It's almost coming from like, you know, oh, like they want to know the situation before they get into it. And while I get that, it's so personal. That's such a personal question. I don't know you at all.
It almost makes me feel like, do you have drama happening in your life that you think I have drama and you don't want more drama?
Exactly.
Because it's not always dramatic. There are plenty of couples that are co-parenting politely.
Healthily, yeah.
Yeah. So what I think it is, it's almost the equivalent of when someone talks about, like on an app, oh, I can't wait to see you in heels, or I can't wait to cuddle with you, or I can't wait to make out with you.
Yeah.
I have not met you, sir.
Yeah.
Why are you acting like a creep?
It's so creepy. It's such an ick. I hate that.
Also, most women are not looking for a new dad for their kids.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to, like, I think if someone is asking you on an app, what is the father situation here?
Yeah.
You know, you can simply not talk to them.
Yeah.
You don't know this person.
That's what I was going to say.
No explanation. But if you feel like you are the kind of person who wants to talk to them, maybe you have a mutual friend and you just want to be like, we could talk about that on our first or second date, but we don't have to talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to delay certain conversations.
I agree. Yeah.
Right. So I feel like, I think I do wish this person well.
Me too.
You will date again though. You know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, grief is not unique and everyone has a grief story.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you talk to them about your partner, see how they react to it, right? Are they acting possessive? That's a red flag. Are they acting supportive and asking questions about like, what did you love about your husband?
Yeah.
I think that's a place from caring and like being a friend.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, looking for those signs is I think what's most important.
I agree 100%. Yeah.
No.
It's a delicate situation. So I think the way that people are taking care of it is important. Like if you're on a date and someone doesn't even, you know, you're like, oh, you know, my husband died and they ask you no follow-up question or anything. It's like, okay.
That's a red flag.
It's a huge red flag. It's a huge red flag. So, yeah.
Before we get to our last question, I just want to give a shout out to my producer who's going to have to edit this audio. I know that my words are not coming through and I apologize. I am so sorry. Again, we're blaming a 4-year-old for this.
It's all her fault.
It's all her fault.
All her fault.
Let's take our last question.
Okay.
Hi, Matchmaker Maria. This is Sam, and I'm from New York, and I'm 38 years old. Here's my question for you. I'm the only child and daughter to my elderly parents who I currently live with. And over the past few years, I've taken on an increasing amount of responsibility, both in our house and in caring for them as they've gotten older and their health has declined. My question to you is, how do I present my situation to new guys that I'm talking to in a way that it is not an instant turn off to them? My concern is just that they will not want to get involved with a woman who is still living at home with her parents and has a good amount of responsibility in caring for them. Thanks so much.
This is a great question.
It's a great question.
I think because of the sandwich generation where there's people that are dating or raising kids while taking care of their parents, this is actually a really popular question. This kind of reminds me of an answer that I give people when people say, how do I tell a man I want him to pay for a first date?
Yeah.
And let me tell you why. This has to do with culture. You have to discover which people belong to cultures where caregiving, caring for a parent and not putting them in a home is seen as something that's value driven.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you're going to have to learn what those cultures are. I don't know where in New York she lives.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of cultures in the surrounding area where they'll hear, oh, I'm taking care of my parents.
Yeah.
It's not seen as a red flag.
At all.
Right.
Yeah, I come from my mom and my dad took care of their parents to the end. You know what I mean? My mom, like, my grandparents lived in the same building. My mom, like, moved upstairs to, like, be with my grandparents. I will say it was, like, the number one thing for me with JC on our first date because he took care of his grandma who got dementia. He, like, lived with her and took care of her. And I was like, I love that you did that. That was such a green flag for me. So yeah, I think it's about finding cultures that, like, putting in my family, like, putting somebody in a home is so frowned upon.
You know what's crazy is I have I'm trying to manage my mom's stuff right now, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to an elder character and I was like, my parents live with me, and we do this, and she's like, wow, that's so. She used like a word that's so honorable of you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it though?
Yeah,
like, I don't like it. I'll tell you what my biggest pet peeve is. I hate hearing from people that I'm a good daughter. Because frankly, I think my sister is a wonderful daughter.
Yeah.
And I also think my husband is a wonderful son.
Yeah.
And I mention these two things because my sister lives far away. My husband lives far away from his parents.
Yeah.
So I don't think that adjective belongs with this action. What I think it is that my parents are lucky.
Yeah.
Right? It's on them. It's their active, it's not me.
It's not on you. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
However, we all belong to a culture where we don't necessarily put our people in homes, right? And I think that I remember even before my mom got sick, when I was dating my partner, I said, well, when my parents get old, I feel like I'll be the one taking care of them.
Yeah.
Just like, and then I asked him about his situation because, he's living away from his parents. He lives 5,000 miles away from his parents.
Oof.
What is your plan? Are you going back to Greece? Like, what's the situation?
It's a real
here?
conversation.
That's a real conversation. He said, well, my sister would take care of my parents. That's the agreement we've made. And I remember saying to him as part of a financial conversation, I said, well, then I expect you, if this continues, when your sister has to take care of your parents, I expect you to send resources to her.
Absolutely.
That's not to say that I expect resources from my sister.
Yeah.
But I know it's cheaper in Greece to afford certain resources. Also, the way the village dynamics are, it's just a very different,
It's just different. Yeah,
it's a community thing. So we had that conversation. And I think in this person dating in New York, you are surrounded by cultures of people who take care of their families. And I think you have to date within those cultures.
100%.
Be real with it, right? You don't have to have it in your profile, but on your first date, if you feel like you're enjoying this person's company and if you feel safe to share something that vulnerable, which is your housing situation, you can say, here's how you're going to say it. I'm a caregiver to my parents. Here are my responsibilities.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be granular. But you should certainly talk about how you feel. Is this rewarding for you? What is the value in this? What do you expect from a partner? Recently a woman online asked me, how do I tell my partner he's not responsible for my parents? He keeps asking. And it's like, because he is responsible for your parents.
Yeah.
If you live together, if you decide to have a joint account, even if he's not financially responsible and you're taking care of them, or they have their own financial resources, he has to be emotionally there for you
100%.
when you are emotionally drained.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's okay to share this part about your life. I don't want to say the right person is going to stick around, but the kind of person that values what you're doing will not see it as a red flag.
Exactly. It's a she's also an only child. She has no one else to.
It's tough.
There's no other option.
It's really tough
It's
being
really
an only
tough. But there's, New York is
her parents are lucky.
Yeah, her parents really are lucky. But New York's a very diverse place, and I feel like you will find your people that are doing the same thing and
Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx.
Yeah,
I'll throw in Sam.
I'm from Manhattan. We took care of our.
Yeah, but you're from like lower
I'm
Manhattan.
from the Lower
in the
East Side.
90s.
Yeah,
like,
we took care of my
Come
grandparents.
on. Anyway, well, listen, this is our last episode together.
I know.
I loved having you on.
I loved being here. I feel like I've known you forever.
Same.
Right?
Same. So we still want updates. So you're going to have to call in.
And I will.
Give us the updates. Tell us what you had for Thanksgiving.
I will.
I'm curious.
I kind of hope it's mofongo. I love mofongo.
Mofongo turkey?
Yeah.
Like a shaped turkey? I bet you someone makes this.
I'm sure they do. I'm going to Google it. I'm sure.
And where can people find you? Where can people find your comedy tour? Like, tell us everything we need to know.
So you can find me at Make Me Laugh Sam on all of the social media platforms. I also do a once a month monthly show. It's a live version of my podcast, soft launch. So it's at the Stand in Manhattan. It's at different dates all the time, but follow me, and I'll keep you updated on that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You're going to have me on your podcast when the book comes out.
Yeah.
In the live show.
Oh my God, yeah, it's
gonna,
really fun.
We're going to have to coordinate
because we get people ask us questions. In the audience, we have a QR code, and they ask us questions, and we answer.
And the book is called Ask a Matchmaker.
Perfect.
Like,
we'll do it. It's been done.
We'll be together again. All right.
Yes.
Well, that's our show. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you loved Sam, go follow her on Instagram. Even if you hated her, go follow her. I love a good hate follow.
Oh my God, I hate it. Actually, don't follow me. If you hate me, don't follow me. I don't want to know.
Let's cut that out.
I'm just kidding. It's fine.
And don't forget to rate, subscribe, review, tell a friend, tell your mother, tell a cousin, tell your doctor, tell everyone, tell the guy next to you on the subway.
Yes.
Are you listening to Ask a Matchmaker podcast? Are you listening to the Soft Launch podcast? Subscribe to them. Let's go. Well, that's it. Be lovable, but more importantly, be likable. See you next week.